Two UCLA students say they were drugged at parties. We hear from experts on how to stay safe during a night out.
The California Senate debate between Adam Schiff and Steve Garvey is now underway. Stay tuned for live coverage.
Vice presidential candidate JD Vance made comments on abortion that put Donald Trump on the defensive. We talked to USC students about the issue.
Annenberg TV News is next.
UCLA police are searching for suspects after two students say they were drugged at an off-campus party last weekend. Hi, I'm Kofo Jalaosho.
And I'm Brian Saravia. Both victims reported separate cases of being drugged while attending parties along Gailey Avenue. The area attracts heavy crowds every weekend to its 10 fraternities. The victims say they attended at least 3 different parties on the street before they started feeling symptoms of something other than alcohol.
There are things that we like to, strategies that we like to give to our students so that they know how to be safe, such as going to parties in groups, not taking drinks from strangers, things of that nature. Now, that does not excuse people from committing crimes. And at the UCLA Police Department, we investigate these crimes, and if we find out who the criminal is, we will make an arrest.
The operations captain also said he is not willing to release any information about the suspect yet. Despite the UCLA investigation, students on campus say they are still anxious.
I think the best way to protect yourself is just be in charge of your own drinks. Don't leave it unoccupied. Don't let someone that you don't know, don't trust, give you a drink.
Surround yourself with people you trust, because if you have friends with you too, they're like a second pair of eyes that can help watch your drink or whatever.
I just fear that drugging happens in conjunction with sexual assault incidences, and so I just would like there to be more supervision on those drugs and less accessibility, especially for young students.
Party culture at USC has its own reputation. The organization TACO offers advice for how students should take measures to protect themselves.
Maybe be careful, only have canned drinks, so no open top drinks, just to make sure that nothing can get in it. Canned drinks, for sure that nothing has been in it.
The organization offers free fentanyl test strips at their weekly stands on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 and Fridays from 12 to 2. They also hold free information sessions about drug safety, which can be found on the link on its Instagram bio at taco.usc.
Los Angeles police are looking for a man who was suspected of breaking into a home rented by a dozen female USC students. The suspect had reportedly shown up to the house multiple times. Residents say that he broke in through a side door this morning.
I think that the most important thing is a stringent background check that goes much deeper than it is today in order to preserve the integrity of the Second Amendment and to be able to provide for people to defend themselves.
We need leaders who can stand up to the NRA. I would support an assault weapons ban. I would support extended and universal background checks. I would support a ban on extended ammunition clips and my own bill, which would strip away the NRA's immunity from liability.
Adam Schiff's platform policies include ending voter suppression and protecting the planet, while Garvey's platform includes an increase in border security and fighting homelessness. We talked to USC students to see what they hope to learn from tonight's debate.
I think from both candidates, I would like to know their stances on abortion and women's rights. I know that's a very big issue now, especially since both women's rights as well as same-sex marriage has also been on the ballot for kind of debating those issues again. So I want to know their stances on those bigger issues. I also just want to know their personal beliefs, anything that is in their lives that would affect how they would create policies for our Senate, because I know that's a very big way that people like to vote is by people, which is not always the best, but it's how it's going nowadays. So.
Polling shows that Schiff has a strong lead going into the November 5th election, but the senatorial candidates aren't the only ones taking the debate stage tonight. Voters will also choose a new district attorney. Tonight, incumbent George Gascon and attorney Nathan Hockman will go head-to-head on policies regarding law enforcement and jail populations. Incumbent Gascon has been criticized for what some call lenient criminal policies. Hochman is a former federal prosecutor and hopes to focus on those criticisms. We asked students if this race impacts young voters.
I think in the 21st century, debates being able to be displayed on such a wide crowd via the internet or television has been able to allow for younger voters like me or other students at USC specifically to get more involved in local politics, especially if some of us are coming from different areas. I think being able to easily watch these debates and learning more about the South Central local government is going to be very helpful.
New polls show that Hochman is currently 30 percentage points ahead of Gascon. Gascon, who, quote, came from way behind in the 2020 election, end quote, hopes to do so again in November.
If elected, Vice President nominee JD Vance confirmed the Trump administration would defund Planned Parenthood. The Ohio senator said that he doesn't think taxpayers should help fund late-term abortions. However, there is already legislation prohibiting federal funding for abortions with some exceptions. In a post on X, Planned Parenthood took aim at Vance, saying he's not only targeting abortion, but also cancer screenings, STIs testing, and other healthcare services. President Trump tweeted, "I fully support the 3 exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother." We spoke to students on campus who still doubt a Trump administration would protect the right to choose.
His idea of defunding Planned Parenthood, it kind of takes away the veil of we're trying to protect children. It seems to be pretty unapologetically just taking away women's rights.
But I personally value more what Kamala Harris is saying in terms of supporting reproductive rights and not defunding it, because I know reproductive rights are a big issue for a lot of young women. So I would definitely agree more with Kamala on this stance.
Vice President Kamala Harris is in the middle of a media blitz and is emphasizing her support for reproductive rights. She appeared on the Call Her Daddy podcast, the most listened to podcast by women on Spotify. The show typically discusses topics related to sex, mental health, and women's issues.
So he who, when he was president, hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And there are now 20 states with Trump abortion bans, including bans that make no exception for rape or incest. You're telling a survivor of a crime of a violation to their body they don't have a right to make a decision about what happens to their body next?
Tonight, Harris will make an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. A New York Times national poll published today shows Harris has a slim lead over Trump.
Tonight, a woman is hospitalized after being stabbed at an LA City bus stop. Annenberg Media's Jason Good joins us live with more on what happened. Jason?
Thanks, Brian. I'm right outside the LA General Medical Center, where a woman was rushed inside right after being stabbed at a nearby bus stop. A woman was waiting for the bus next to the Los Angeles General Medical Center when, according to the LAPD, she was stabbed from behind. A Metro ambassador brought her the couple hundred feet into the hospital nearby. It is not clear what the condition of the victim is at this time. The LA Metro is recommending 3 tips to stay safe. First, be aware of your surroundings and avoid distractions. Second, find a safe spot to wait in. And third, report any issues you see to the nearest Metro ambassador, transit security officer, or law enforcement officer. The Metro ambassador in this case was right here to help, but you have to make sure that you can stay safe too. For Annenberg Media, I'm Jason Good.
Netflix is running 2 shows about the Menendez brothers. One is a limited series, and the other is a new documentary. Eric and his older brother Lyle were convicted of murdering their parents in the family's Beverly Hills home in 1989. The Menendez brothers documentary includes over 20 hours of new prison phone interviews with Eric and Lyle. It also features USC professor Alan Abramson, the LA Times lead reporter on the case. He spoke to Annenberg Media about his opinion of the trial.
Facts are what the facts are. The law is what the law is. And people can come up with as many theories about why they did what they did, but it doesn't matter. The courts have rendered their verdict, and a federal appeals court has heard all the evidence and come to a conclusion that justice was rendered and rendered fairly, and the brothers deserve to be in prison for life.
Despite being convicted almost 30 years ago, various new social media videos have pushed for re-examination. Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon weighed in on the situation.
We're here to tell you that we have a moral and an ethical obligation to review what is being presented to us and make a determination based on a resentencing side, whether they deserve to be resentenced, even though they were clearly the murderers, because they have been in prison for 35 years and they have paid back their dues to society, or whether habeas is appropriate if there was evidence that was not presented to the court at that time, and had that evidence been presented, perhaps a jury would have come to a different conclusion.
Prosecutors are sticking by the 1996 retrial conviction, but say they are reviewing whether or not additional information would have led the jury to a different conclusion.
Hurricane Milton is threatening the lives of anyone who doesn't take action immediately. We talked to an impacted student in Florida.
The Los Angeles Unified School District is being pressured to transform the use of its 400 unoccupied buildings. We'll bring you the latest.
The inflation rate is the lowest it's been for over 3 years. We talked to LA residents about how inflation has impacted them.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dímelo Ahora.
Radio and podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
There's a new pet.
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. It's fun and easy. Soak your chia, spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. And now grow a whole collection of fun with chia teddy bears, puppies, kittens, rams, bulls. There's even a chia tree to keep your pets company. Chia Pets and Trees, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pet and Chia Tree are available at Kmart, Rite Aid, Ames, and Woolworth. Makes a great gift.
Educators and parents are urging the LAUSD to convert unoccupied buildings into affordable housing. Buildings like the Miramar campus are left vacant because of declining enrollment. Many families can no longer afford to live in Los Angeles and are forced to pull their students out of school.
And for the past 2 years, I have been hearing, and as families and students are sharing their experiences with me, they're leaving the district now. And every time the district loses a student, a teacher is displaced from our schools.
I left 4 students in LAUSD, and I had to take 2 with me to the Compton School District. And probably by this semester, I'm going to move them out of LAUSD because I'm having problems.
Los Angeles Unified Schools reported more than 9,000 homeless students for the 2022-2023 school year. This is a 9% increase from the previous year. LAUSD is the second largest landowner in the city, including more than 400 unoccupied buildings. We reached out to LAUSD for comment. They did not respond.
Some good economic news. The current inflation rate is the lowest it's been since February of 2021. Here we have our current inflation rates compared to the federal target inflation peaked at 7.2% in July of 2022. By August this year, it fell to 2.5%. The Federal Reserve maintains a target rate of 2%. Despite the steady decline, only about 6% of the nearly 400 items tracked by the Bureau of Labor Statistics are cheaper today. We spoke to grocery shoppers about prices.
It doesn't seem like it went down, you know, because stuff was really high where you get like a whole cart of food for just $100. Now it's like maybe 3 meals worth out of that. Especially like the fresh stuff, the organic food. You know, that's still higher. They want us to eat better, but this stuff is too high.
If the government can pay non-farming for farmers not to farm, then why don't they stop and save the government money, let the farmers farm, and let the price of the products come down?
I have to shop differently. I minimize the meats that I buy. I buy more soups or reduce slash prices.
Main contributors to inflation include shelter, transportation services, and motor vehicle insurance.
The NAACP denounced LA Councilman Kevin De Leon, who is running for a second term. He refused to resign 2 years ago after secretly recorded audio of him making racist comments was leaked. Many demanded his resignation, including other council members and even President Joe Biden.
How can city employees and residents in the city of Los Angeles have confidence in our city protecting them from racism when they can't even protect us from one of their own members?
And I want you to know that we as black people, we do not forget. We remember these things. And as Mr. Good has said, we have given Kevin De Leon an F, a failure.
De Leon's office declined to comment. Tomorrow he is scheduled to debate his opponent, Isabel Jurado, at Dolores Mission Catholic Church in Boyle Heights at 5 p.m.
For our top weather story tonight, we continue to follow the destructive path of Hurricane Milton. Anastasia Ochoa has the details.
Thank you, Kofo. Hurricane Milton has resurged to a Category 5, picking up speed as it moved across the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. It's expected to make landfall near Tampa tomorrow. Millions have been ordered to evacuate in 11 Florida counties. Many areas are still cleaning up from the damage caused by Hurricane Helene last week. We spoke to a University of Tampa student who is taking the threat very seriously.
Everybody basically in the Tampa Bay area has left. The campus was mandatory. You had to evacuate. And then I think zones A, B, and C have all been evacuated. And our mayor actually went on like a press conference and basically said, do not stay. Like, if you can get out because this is not survivable.
Tampa Bay has not experienced a hurricane of this size in more than 100 years. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has nearly 900 staff members in the area ready to help. Well, fortunately, on the West Coast, we are experiencing good weather right now, but maybe a little bit more extended heat wave than normal, but it looks like that's about to change. I'm Anastasia Ochoa, and this is Sazi's Weather Sizzle. Looking at the current temperatures right now, it is a cool 79 degrees just as the sun is about to go down, but it will feel colder than normal. Be on the lookout for those change in temperatures. Wear a jacket. And looking ahead to the 5-day forecast, right now it's going to be a little warm tomorrow, 84 degrees with a low of 63, same on Thursday, same on Friday, and then just in time for fall break, as you can see, it's going to cool down to a very nice 79 degrees with a low of 60. And you might even see a little bit of fog rolling in, so we'll keep an eye on that. Make sure to enjoy your fall break, Trojans. And that's all for weather today. Let's toss it to sports.
USC is facing its tough challenge yet again against Penn State. What do they need to do to win? It's payday for Juju Watkins. See how the contract can benefit Watkins and USC basketball. And if you're wanting to channel your inner Rocky Balboa, the Trojan Boxing Club can make your dreams come true.
Bonjour, je suis le grand musique.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking. And no, these children aren't French. They're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method. The entire course, 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, the activity book, and the Parent's Guide and Answer book is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German.
To order, use your credit card and call this number. We'll ship and charge you $28.08 a month for 6 months. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call 1-800-424-0700.
Okay, this stuff is really amazing. I mean, I put it in my mouth and I taste watermelon, but it's not just that. I taste strawberry too, but it's kind of like a watermelon-y strawberry put together. Hang on. Sorry about that. And the bubbles are really awesome. I mean, that's why they call it Max, I guess, obviously. That sort of makes sense once you think about it. Oh, I'm Dan, and that's Chuck. Hubba Max. A whole new kind of bubble. Hey!
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Drew Yaskovich.
And I'm Marissa Russ.
USC is set to take on number 4 Penn State this Saturday at the Coliseum, hoping to bounce back from a tough loss to Minnesota. In that loss, USC struggled to find consistency on offense with turnovers and missed opportunities. Despite a strong run game, they couldn't convert those drives into points, something quarterback Miller Moss reflected on postgame.
They did a really good job offensively of limiting our possessions. Seemed like it was pretty intentional. They played pretty soft all game. I thought we, gashed them in the run game, like Coach Riley said. So stuff was there offensively. I felt like we were moving the ball up and down the field. Just, obviously didn't put the points up to, reflect that.
For our predictions, I think it's going to be a close game, but USC pulls out the win, 28-24, and Marissa is predicting Penn State outplays the Trojans defensively, winning 27-17. The Trojans have shown in the past they have what it takes to beat top-ranked teams, but in order to win the game, turnovers have to be limited against a strong Nittany Lions defense.
It may be the off-season, but Juju Watkins is still balling on and off the court. The Trojan sensation has agreed to a multi-year contract extension with Nike. Few details are known, but according to ESPN insider Shams Charania, the endorsement deal will be one of the richest ever in women's basketball. The deal isn't only good news for Watkins. A multi-year deal could mean Watkins will stay here at USC just a little longer, and the Trojans are glad to keep her around.
The MLB playoffs are heating up, and the San Diego Padres are doing everything to make sure Petco Park stays packed. But if you're a Dodger fan outside of San Diego, good luck getting a ticket. The Padres have placed strict ticket restrictions limited to only residents of San Diego County, Southern Orange County, Western Arizona, Las Vegas, and Baja California. Fans attempting to buy tickets from outside these areas will have their purchases canceled without notice.
I think they're just trying to make sure that every single San Diego fan is in there. And regardless, Dodger fans, they're going to find a way to get it done. They're going to travel in packs, get there to the game. But I really think the Padres were just trying to make it as hard as possible and just keep building up this drama that's going on in the series right now.
Ticket restrictions like these aren't new, as other teams like the Philadelphia 76ers and Florida Panthers have taken similar steps in the past for playoffs.
USC Trojan Boxing is our community sports spotlight this week, and the Trojans are packing a punch outside of the classroom. The Trojan Boxing Club has 2 teams. The general team is open to all Trojans throughout the year. To join the club, all you have to do is go to an open practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursdays. Last year, 5 members of the competitive team won championships, including senior Jordan King, who was the first boxing national champion in USC history.
Boxing is a sport it has to find you. I came from a boxing family. My uncle is my trainer. I train at the Hall of Fame referee, Richard Steele. He's that's the gym I grew up in. I still go there to this day. So just my whole family was boxing. So I stuck with it because boxing is an unforgiving sport. So if you don't like it, then you're going to step out. But I stay with it because I love it.
Collegiate boxing competitions consist of 10 to 20 matches back-to-back. Colleges send boxers to compete on an individual basis. Tournaments are bracket style, and athletes keep competing until they lose. Sophomore Arabella Jensen is preparing to compete in her first ever boxing competition.
I'm nervous. I've never done it before, but I think that's kind of calmed my nerves because I have no idea what to expect. And everyone's just been super supportive and hopeful of me fighting, so I trust my coaches. I trust that they're making the right decisions.
If you're not ready to put on boxing gloves just yet, you can attend Trojan Boxing's first home event on November 9th at Sweet Science Boxing and MMA Gym. More information can be found on their Instagram at Trojan Boxing.
That's all we have for sports. Now over to Brian and see what's going on with Billie Jean King.
Tennis great Billie Jean King will be honored at the next Rose Bowl parade. We'll listen to her after the break.
Let me tell you how we amplify our Latina voices. Check out Dímelo. We have it all.
Deportes.
Entertainment. Noticias. ¿Qué tal? Soy Mariela Gómez y bienvenidos a Dime la Hora.
Radio and podcasting.
Comida y cultura. Digital social media.
¿A qué equipo le vas tú? LA Galaxy o LAFC? Dímelo is the only Latina-focused media outlet at USC. Dímelo. We have it all.
Dímelo. We have it all.
Want quality name brand carpet for less?
Call Empire and you can get quality carpet at the lowest price guaranteed. And no payments for 1 year.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I've replaced your shoelaces with fruit by the foot.
So you did. I replaced your fingers with fruit by the foot.
Bravo. I've replaced your bones with fruit by the foot.
Indeed you have. I replaced your guitar strings with fruit by the foot.
Seems like a step backwards, but alright. I've replaced your DNA with fruit by the foot. That would be end game, my friend.
Fruit by the foot. Fruit flavor.
Legendary tennis pro Billie Jean King will be the Grand Marshal of the next Rose Bowl parade. King is also known for her groundbreaking work for equal pay for female athletes. The theme of this year's parade is, quote, Best Day Ever. The Tournament of Roses committee says it chose King because she has created countless best days both on and off the court.
This year's theme, Best Day Ever. God, do you love that? I love it. I have a whole new saying the rest of my life, and I love it. And it celebrates life's best moments, but it reminds us of the importance of living in the present every single day. I will do my very best to represent Pasadena, Southern California, and the long list of Grand Marshals who came before me.
The 2025 Rose Parade takes place January 1st in Pasadena and is followed by the Rose Bowl game in the afternoon. Now, can we talk about being a super senior? Because we actually had her at our graduation, right?
That's right. Kofo and I, we're graduating in December, but we attended the spring graduation, and she spoke there, and it was absolutely amazing to hear her speak. She spoke a lot about her advocacy for the LGBTQ community and also women athletes, and I love seeing any type of content regarding Billie Jean King now, because it was just so great to hear her speak
and it was
at our graduation.
It really was a time. She came with so much energy. She gave us a couple of tennis balls. Like, I personally thought the Annenberg commencement was the best one, but maybe I might be biased. I'm
definitely biased on that too. I loved her speech, and also just generally seems like a good person to vibe with. Like, easygoing. She was very funny too.
Yeah.
I remember laughing.
We would get coffee.
Yeah.
And talk. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Brian Saravia.
And I'm Kofo Jalausho. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.